Dragging an air compressor out of the garage just to tack down a bit of upholstery is honestly the fastest way to kill your motivation for a weekend project. That is exactly where this little yellow powerhouse comes in. It is a 2-in-1 cordless nailer that ditches the hoses and the noise, and frankly, it feels surprisingly capable for something that weighs less than 4 pounds. When you pick it up, the balance is decent, and the rubberized grip doesn't feel like cheap plastic, which is a relief because you want something that stays steady when you are working in tight corners. What makes this thing interesting is the way it handles the actual firing. It uses an impact driver-style mechanism rather than a traditional pneumatic kick, so you get a consistent drive without that jarring recoil you might be used to. It handles both 3/8-inch crown staples and 18-gauge brad nails, and switching between them is straightforward enough that you won't be fumbling around for 10 minutes. The depth adjustment knob is a nice touch, too. You can dial it in so you aren't burying the nail too deep into softer woods or leaving it sticking out on harder surfaces. Now, the battery life is where this thing really earns its keep. It is rated for about 3,000 shots on a single charge, which is honestly more than most home DIYers will ever need in a single session. You could spend all Saturday afternoon rooflstering chairs or putting up trim and still have plenty of power left over. Plus, the magazine is transparent, so you can actually see when you are running low on fasteners instead of just dry firing into your project and leaving ugly marks on the wood. That is a small detail, but it saves a lot of frustration. There is a safety micro switch on the nose, which means it won't fire unless it is pressed firmly against the surface. It is a smart move for safety, though it does mean you have to be deliberate with your placement. If there is one thing to nitpick, it is that the trigger response has a tiny bit of a delay compared to a high-end professional pneumatic gun. But for the price and the convenience of being totally cordless, that is a trade-off most people will happily make. It is not meant for framing a house, but for the kind of stuff you do around the living room or the workshop, it is a solid, reliable companion that keeps the workspace clean and the project moving fast. If you're tired of fighting with air hoses, this is a pretty painless way to upgrade your kit.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.